Hi, it's Lau again. I would like to talk about a question that I received after one of my previous videos on polarity. Someone said to me, when you look at pain and when you look at love and you say, well, they're the same thing, that's very confusing. How is pain and love the same thing when I can tell when I'm in pain, I can tell when I'm in love? Let me see if I can connect these 2 points on a thread. When you feel anything, it is because your heart is open. Yes? When you feel nothing, it's because the heart is closed. However, people have a very big misconception on what is open and what is closed, because the first thing they think of is they take for granted that they understand their emotions in the first place. Let me explain something about emotions to you that I hope will help make your life clearer. When we feel anything, it's not a psychological process first. First, it's a physiological process. If you practice the techniques I've given you, for example, the hidden phoenixes, right? You say to me, "Ah, I feel so much better." Okay, you have a sensation of feeling in your body that's better, yes. But how do your emotions feel? There's a correlation because they're actually the same thing. Your emotions are not mental. Your emotions are physical. The story you tell about the emotions are mental. This is how the wind and the water, the thoughts and the emotions, the feng and the shui, are balancing and affecting one another. You see, when the wind whips up, the water whips up. Too fast, too dangerous, too turbid, we call that a hurricane or typhonic forces. But the emotion itself is not mental. The emotion itself is a feeling. And when that feeling comes on, if you observe it but do not put a story to it, you'll just feel unpleasant. Maybe severely unpleasant, but you'll feel unpleasant. But if you give it a moment and you take your attention and you put it on something that you do want or something that is constructive to you, this is the need for something like Qigong. This is the need for something like yoga. This is the need for something like Tai Chi. Because you're putting your awareness somewhere else. Why do these things affect the emotions so powerfully is that you change the pattern of the body, its physiology, and therefore the emotions have to change with it as well. However, the trick is the mind as well. If you are in love with somebody, a relationship with somebody, if you are dealing with somebody at work, then you have emotional patterns that are built up from childhood to adolescence to early adulthood to wherever you are now in your life. And those things have more to do with how you feel that you fit into the whole than the actual whole itself. So one of the things that must happen is you must learn to separate your story from the emotional, physical sensation. Because until you can break that link, you're going to say, well, I used to love them so much and, now they just bring me pain. No. The pain is the story you tell about intimate relationships, because I can guarantee you, if I listen to your life, most of your intimate relationships have a pattern of having pain. Because when you let people deeply inside of you, inside of the place where you may harbor insecurities, mistrust, distrust, or anything else, then when that person gets in there, they are going to expose that mistrust or distrust that's always there but lies beneath your conscious notice. I'll give you a physical example. If you're standing there and you say, I feel perfectly normal, and I push here and you say, ow, I did not cause that pain. That pain is always there. All I did was tell you with this hand, there's pain there. I brought it to the attention of your nervous system, which transmitted it to your brain. Intimate relationships are no different. They are emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and sometimes physically pushing on pain that is already there. That pain is in the form of a story. If your mind isn't telling that story, you feel no pain. But if your mind begins telling the story, then the pain will come in and you'll trigger that person's action to the pain. You'll link that trigger. But in fact, it was always there. Therefore, it is one thread. The difference is, can you separate the story of he did this to me or she doesn't let me? Can you separate those stories to say, I carry this pain because I carry this story in my subconscious? Things like transpersonal psychology. Some people find great benefit of something called EFT. Things like neurofeedback. Some things like psychoneuroimmunology. These were all designed, and to some people they have great effect and other people they don't. There's no one thing that works for everyone. Some people, their daily dose of yoga. Some people, their daily dose of qigong or their meditation. The trigger to all of this is these are your active personal ways of going deep within and saying, I feel uncomfortable, I feel sad, I feel anything, but if I'm sitting here and I feel it, then obviously there is no cause outside of me. It was always there. You simply must take the story away from it. The cure to the fear is in the fear. The cure to the pain is in the pain. But the pain is always there. Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not always there. Relationships trigger this pain and is not the other person's fault. It is not your fault. There is no fault here. You must learn to separate blame, because blame stems from shame, from guilt, from fear. You must cleanse yourself of the need to blame, because causation is not about blaming anybody. Causation is understanding the root of something, and if you pull it out by its roots, it ceases to plague you or exist in your life. You can do simple things like the phoenixes that I taught in another one, or the golden ball I taught in another one. But as the feelings come up or as the thoughts come up, you must realize that it's this. It's that active movement when these typhonic forces on you. You must stay stalwart in your action. You must stay stalwart and dedicated and committed and diligent in keeping the practice going. That yes, it's dredging it up, but like anything that can be dredged up, it can also be washed away from your life. Not facing it kicks it down the road, and feelings buried alive never die. There's a book title, you may want to investigate that, of the same name. Okay? If you have any questions, I hope this cleared it up for you. If you have any comments, you can hit comment, hit like, you can share it if you want to create a discussion about this, or as always, you can just email me offline at lao@fourdragonschool.com. Until next time, we'll see you then.